Okay, we are now recording to the cloud.
Good morning, everyone. It is 10:01 a.m. and I am now calling this meeting of the Agricultural Labor Relations Board to order. First, I will go through the roll. I understand Board Member Flores is running a few minutes behind with a training. So please, Santiago, alert us when she is here. Next, I will go to Board Member Broad.
Here.
Board Member Hall.
Present.
Board Member Lightstone.
Present.
Victoria Hasid also present. Next, I will seek a motion to approve the most recent meeting minutes from April 17th. May I have a motion? Thank you.
Second.
All right. Member Hall moves. Member Broad seconds. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
The minutes have been approved. In terms of the chair's report, just a couple of updates. I will be going through the Senate confirmation process and appearing before Senate rules next Wednesday, May 7th. In addition, we are now within a month for our ALRA at 50 celebration. This will take place in the annual UC Davis Farm Worker Conference. That is scheduled from May 21st to May 23rd. So it's a 3-day conference, and the middle day, Thursday, May 22nd, will be the day-long ALRA focus session with a keynote from former Governor Jerry Brown and also a reception after. So I know there will be a lot of current and former ALRB staff, as well as many stakeholders that are there who participate in our proceedings. If you have any questions, please reach out to us and we can get you connected to that information. I believe it is now waitlist only for those for the Thursday portion of the conference, but we will see how it all shakes out. That concludes the chair's report. May I now have Santiago, can you present the executive officer's report on elections, unfair labor practice complaints, and hearings? Before you do that, I'd like to note Member Flores has joined the meeting. Welcome, Member Flores. Good to see you.
Morning. Good morning, sir. I'm having a little bit problem with my camera. Okay, just reset it. There we go. So good morning again, Chair Hasid, members of the board. For today's executive report, you can find it on our website under the meetings tab. You can, to the right of the meeting notice, it's listed there. Beginning with complaints settled, first is in reverse chronological order, Betaravia Farms, 2023 CE 014 SAL was settled. We either received information from the parties or the judge that it was settled on April 24th. The next matter is Mars Farms Inc. 2023 CE 031 SAL. We got notice of that settlement on April 8th. And finally, Fanciful Company Incorporated and Diorigo Brothers, Company of California, 2023 CE 043 SAL, and we received notice of that on March 13th. Turning to administrative orders that have issued since my last report, there's one in Wonderful Nurseries LLC, and the citation to the admin order is Wonderful Nurseries LLC 2024, admin order number 2025-01. There, the board issued its order denying appeal of an exclusion order, and that's dated April 7th. Turning finally to pending matters, the first is CYMA, and actually in following reverse chron order again, CYMA Orchids Corporation, 2023 CE 016 SAL. Exceptions to the ALJ's decision were filed April 29th. Replies, if any, are due May 13th. And the next matter, Wonderful Nurseries LLC 2024 RM002. There are various interim appeals regarding the IHE's rulings relating to attorney-client privilege and attorney work product claims, and the denial of petition to revoke that was filed by one of the witnesses' counsel, and that too is pending the board's action on the application for special permission to appeal. That concludes my report. Happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Santiago. No questions for me. Any from my colleagues? Okay. All right. Next, we have, I believe, a brief litigation report from our Chief Board Counsel, Laura Hike. If you can promote her to panelist, that would be great.
All right, Laura, it took a minute to find you here. I'm promoting you to panelist now.
Okay, bear with me just a minute. I might be having some internet problems, so I apologize in advance if I cut out. Okay. In the matter, in the 5th District Court of Appeal involving ALRB and UFW's appeal of the Superior Court order granting a preliminary injunction, that's case number F088515/F088520. The ALRB and UFW filed their reply briefs on April 22nd. This matter is now fully briefed and awaiting the scheduling of oral argument. In the matter of Wonderful Nurses versus ALB, the matter in U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of California, the board filed its motion to dismiss the complaint on April 7th. Wonderful filed its response yesterday, April 29th. And now the board has 10 days to reply. So that'll be Thursday, May 8th, that reply is due. In Chavez et al. Versus ALRB, this is the matter in Kern County Superior Court that was filed in February. The board filed its answer to that complaint on April 28th. And then finally, in Olive Hill and Western Growers Association versus ALRB, this is the matter in U.S. District Court for the Southern District of California. On April 24th, last Thursday, plaintiffs did file a motion for preliminary injunction, as was expected. And the board's response to that's due May 15th. And in that same matter, the board's response to the complaint itself is due on June 9th, 2025. So that concludes my report. Any questions or comments or anything else I can provide?
No questions. Just thank you for helping us stay on top of it all. We appreciate it. And thank you to our AG team, who's been wonderful to work with as well. So any questions from my colleagues?
No.
Okay, thank you, Laura. All right, next is our general counsel's report with General Counsel Julie Montgomery. Julie.
Good morning, Chair Hassid, board members. Good to see everyone. So I have one settlement to report on, and then the rest I'll just highlight a few outreach events. So our Region 2 settled Damari Fresh, which was an unfair labor practice charge filed on October 11th, 2023, related to majority support petition against Damari, alleging that Damari failed to provide accurate worker contact information to the UFW and the ALRB as required by the labor code. The charge also asserted that Damari's supervisors told workers they did not need to provide correct contact information to either the union or the state. And the parties reached a settlement with the ALRB on March 21st of this year, in which Damari agreed to the standard noticing remedies and supervisor training. So kudos to our Region 2 staff for achieving that settlement. And of course, as usual with our noticing, we'll be going out and talking to workers during peak periods so that they know what happened, what was the law that was violated, and just it's a good opportunity to let people know what their rights are. And for outreach, our staff has been all over the state as usual, distributing materials, going to different events and fairs. There's a lot of events going on around the state. There's like Mexican consulate, event, mobile clinic in Orosi and Tulare County. There was a workshop hosted by the UFW Foundation in Mecca, which is in Riverside County. Our staff was there. We were also in Kern County at Comité Unidad Popular Benito Juárez, which we have one of our Visalia attorneys is doing office hours there and meeting with workers in this more rural part of the county in Kern County, where of course we do not have offices. So it's a really good opportunity for workers in Kern County and in that region to access the ALRB. And this is part of our model that we're working on with our Rural Strategic Engagement Program as well, to expand our reach and services. And as usual, we also have staff doing office hours in Santa Paula, which is in rural Ventura County, for doing the same type of thing. And there was a second annual Farm Worker Resource Fair at the Winners Community College, hosted by EDD, and YOLO Works in Yolo County as well this past week, and our staff was there. We have some folks doing a television interview on Telemundo in Coachella Valley in Riverside County. It was originally scheduled for last week, but then bumped to tomorrow. And that's something that we've been doing regularly in that region to just inform workers about their rights. And there's a whole host of other events I won't go through, but I know Daniela provides a weekly report, so you can look at that if you're interested. But they're also doing, they also provided some training to migrant ed groups and parent groups in Fillmore and Ventura County, and then Indio also. So that's just another means of outreach that our staff have been utilizing, is going through the parent groups and schools and migrant ed programs. And that's pretty much what I have to report today, and happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Julie. And also just a couple highlights. I know your team put out a couple of press releases and got some news coverage on some of the recent settlements, and just kudos for that. I think that's such a great way to help alert the community about how workers are succeeding under the act. So obviously the settlement that supports the worker making the charge is the first, great thing. But then I love that we're publicizing that. So appreciate those efforts. Also, I reached out to Region 1 Director Jessica Arciniega, as well as our communications manager, Daniela, seeing some of the intersectionality that we've had with giving trainings to parent ed groups. And I just think that's such a wonderful way to address that. I know some of our sister agencies have been doing that too. And just want to commend that ingenuity, and just keep us posted on how those are going, because I think that's just a great way to meet people where they're at. So appreciate those efforts. Any other comments or questions from my colleagues?
Yes, I have a quick question, Madam Chair.
Mm-hmm.
Julie, given the current state of our nation and some of the policies that you're seeing out of DC, have we found any disruption on our farms with employees and intimidation, or a drought of employees present? Have we found anything like that? Have any of those things been reported?
I mean, I did hear this was reported in the media back in January. You may have read this, that when there were some ICE raids in Kern County, that a lot of citrus workers did not show to work, and a lot of people were rounded up in that community. Other than that, I would say, I mean, people are afraid, right? And people are afraid to put their names on complaints and charges, and that's always been a fear, but it's heightened right now, and we definitely see that. And I think we are going to be seeing more intimidation or attempted intimidation of workers for going forward in our cases. But other than that, yeah, I haven't I don't think we've heard any real specific reports yet, other than just what I mentioned. But I know the staff are dealing with a lot of fear and reluctance on the part of workers, as we saw in the first Trump administration as well. No, yeah.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, timely question. Thank you, Julie, for your report. Appreciate it. Moving through our agenda, we do not have a Division of Administrative Services report today. We do have a legislative report with Michaela Powell. Michaela?
Hi, everyone, Chair Hasid, board members. I have just 3 things to cover today. One is a new bill that came across our desk, which is AB 845. It's very exciting. It's sort of a way to encode in the law the RCEP no wrong door policy and the data sharing program that we're working to set up through the Rural Strategic Engagement Program, VCP, that was passed and that we're currently implementing until fiscal year 26-27. We did have to give an answer to Assembly Appropriations by yesterday, so we went ahead and sent that through agency, and we are tracking that. AB 1300 from Caloza is now a 2-year bill, so that is a bill that deals with personally identifiable information from vulnerable communities. So it was specifically looking at PII held by state agencies that was related to anything immigration status, which we don't keep as a policy, but there's a lot of PII that can be considered part of that. So we'll be ready for that if it comes back up. And then SB 846 from McNerney, which is the ag lien bill, that is now set for hearing on the 6th of May. So we will be watching and hoping that we see some positive progress. So yeah, that's all that we have today for the ledger report.
Excellent. Thank you, Michaela. Thank you for tracking all that. Any questions from my colleagues? Okay, next, we don't have a regulations update today. First time in a long time, so we'll note that. So we will go on to public comment. As always, if you wish to make a public comment, please either use the raise hand feature or send a message to Santiago via email or in the chat feature. We do ask that you provide your name and organization if applicable. Please do not put any substantive comments in the chat, as that will not be part of the record. We are not able to engage and discuss or hear a comment on any pending case matters. So first, I know people sometimes let us know in advance. We'll start with those folks and then go on to people who may have just been deciding to make a comment. Santiago, do we have anyone in our queue?
We do not have anyone in the queue, and I'll ask that anyone in attendance who wishes to make public comment, please use the raise hand feature if you're unable to use the chat feature.
Give it a minute.
I do not see any hands raised or any indication that people wish to make public comment today.
Okay, thank you. The board will now, it is 10:19 a.m. The board will now recess into closed session. Thanks.
Okay, we are recording.
All right, good morning for a few more minutes. It is 11:56 a.m. and the board has returned from closed session. Our next agenda item is announcements. Please note the next board meeting will be Wednesday, May 14th at 10 a.m. both here in Sacramento as well as virtually. And the ALRA at 50 event will be at the UC Davis School of Law on Thursday, May 22nd. We hope to see you there. Thank you so much. Take care.